The first time I saw the envelope, I thought it was some kind of mistake. It was neatly folded, cream-colored, with my name written in her delicate, almost too perfect handwriting. For Dad. I didn't know whether to feel touched or suspicious. My stepdaughter, Emily, had always been careful, polite, composed, the kind of teenager who made you feel proud and guilty at the same time. She was my wife's daughter from a previous marriage, and I had always tried to be the good stepdad she deserved. I thought we were friends. Inside the envelope was an invitation to a Christmas dinner at some exclusive restaurant downtown. Not just any dinner. Fancy. Expensive. There was a handwritten note that made my stomach twist. Dad, I want to treat you. You deserve it. Please come. Emily. I hesitated. My wife, Laura, was out of town on business, leaving me alone for the weekend. It felt odd, but the warmth in her words softened my doubt. Maybe this was Emily's way of connecting with me, of saying thank you for all the little things I did, the late-night homework help, the weekend trips, even the way I'd let her pick the movies I secretly hated. I called her back immediately. Dad, I'm so glad you can make it. Just wear something nice. And, don't be late, she said, voice cheerful, but there was something in the background, a subtle smirk I couldn't place. The restaurant was one of those places that made you feel small the moment you stepped inside. Crystal chandeliers, white linen tablecloths, polished silverware, a place where money whispered louder than conversation. Emily was already there, seated at a corner table, looking impossibly grown up in a red velvet dress. She waved at me, and I tried to ignore the prickling feeling in my chest. Dad, you made it, she said, rising to hug me. Her perfume was faint, sweet, almost like cinnamon. I laughed nervously. You look fancy, I said. So, do you? I wanted tonight to be special, she replied. Her smile was dazzling, but something in her eyes. There was calculation, a precision that made me uneasy. We ordered. She insisted on everything. The best wine, lobster, truffle risotto. I felt awkward, trying to match her enthusiasm while secretly worrying about the bill. But Emily waved me off every time I mentioned it. This is on me, she said. I want you to enjoy it. Tonight is about us. The conversation was light at first. School, friends, movies. But as dessert came, a subtle shift occurred. She became quieter, more measured. Her eyes darted to the staff with a kind of command that made me tense. I didn't understand her sudden formality. Then came the envelope. It was the bill. She placed it gently in front of me, the corners perfect, her nails barely brushing it. My eyes widened. Emily? I started, my voice tight. Here, Dad, she said, calm, almost serene. I told you it's about us. But if you can't handle a little responsibility, maybe this is a lesson. I felt the world tilt. My stepdaughter, my own child, was asking me to pay for what she had promised was her gift. Confusion, hurt, anger, and disbelief collided inside me. You said this was your treat. I managed, my voice shaking. I know, she said softly, leaning back. And I wanted you to feel the same way I did the day I found out. You know about Mom and you. The words fell like stones. My mind froze. What were you talking about? I whispered. Emily's eyes were steady, cold, deliberate. I saw you and her, she said, voice calm but cutting. The texts, the dates, the hotel. I didn't think you'd ever tell me. So I thought, maybe it's time you felt something for a change. It all came rushing back. The small lies I'd told Laura to hide my own mistakes, an affair I thought I could manage discreetly. I had convinced myself it was harmless, that it would never hurt anyone. But here, across from me, was a teenage girl whose world I had shaken without ever realizing it. I reached the bill, trembling. Emily, I can't believe you. I know, she interrupted, her voice trembling now, though she tried to hide it. I don't hate you, but I needed you to see what it feels like to be exposed, vulnerable, betrayed. You hurt Mom, and I hated seeing her cry. So maybe tonight, it's just a little payback. Tears stung my eyes. Not just because of betrayal, but because of the immense complexity of her feelings. Hurt, anger, love, and cunning all wrapped into one. I realized then that I had underestimated her. She wasn't just a child. She was an exacting force of nature, capable of empathy and strategy at once. I'm sorry, I said, voice breaking. I never meant for any of this to happen. I didn't know how much it would hurt all of you. Emily didn't smile. She just nodded, silently accepted my apology without giving me relief. She had engineered a lesson I wasn't sure I deserved, a cold, careful demonstration of the pain I had caused. The rest of the evening passed in a strange, quiet tension. I paid the bill. Every dollar a reminder of my mistakes. The ride home was silent. Emily sat in the passenger seat, hands folded neatly on her lap, staring out the window. I wanted to say something, anything to fix it, but no words came. That night, alone in my study, I thought of Laura, my wife, the woman I had loved, the woman I had betrayed. I pictured her face when she found out, the betrayal in her eyes, the heartbreak, the questioning of every memory we had shared. My heart ached. Emily's revenge wasn't violent or destructive. It wasn't scandalous or dramatic. It was simple, human, effective. She made me feel exposed, vulnerable, small. And in that moment, I realized I had lost more than trust. I had lost innocence, connection, the fragile sense of self I had clung to. Days passed, and Laura returned home. I told her everything. No excuses, no justifications. Just raw, unfiltered truth. Her silence was heavy, a weight I could almost touch. When she finally spoke, it wasn't anger I expected, but a quiet devastation. I trusted you, she said softly, and I trusted that you loved me more than yourself. I nodded, choking on the shame. Emily watched us from the doorway. Her eyes were hard, tired, but there was a glimmer of understanding. She didn't speak, didn't intervene. She had done her job, made me see, made me pay. And now it was between us adults to reckon with the mess I had made. Christmas passed, quiet and restrained. There were no presents, no laughter, no false cheer. Only the remnants of choices made, wounds inflicted, and lessons learned. I tried to rebuild trust, with Laura, with Emily, with myself. It was slow, painfully slow. But Emily's dinner, that night of careful revenge, remained a vivid, painful memory. Every time I thought of it, I remember her smirk, her calm voice, and the way she had taught me one of the hardest lessons of my life. That love and betrayal are never simple, and that those we try to protect can sometimes be the most exacting judges of our sins. And I would carry that lesson forever.